Muy buenas tardes, en este video vamos a ver la entrevista para la actividad número 3 de esta unidad de estudio. Vamos a basarnos en el liderazgo y para ello tenemos a Noemí. Noemí viene de Estados Unidos y el cargo que ella tiene es de coordinadora por el Banco BBVA USA. Noemí habla inglés, de modo que vamos a hacer la entrevista en inglés. So thank you very much, Noemi, for taking the time for this interview.
You're welcome.
We're going to talk about leadership. Can you please just give us a brief recap of your position and your duties for BBVA Compass?
Okay, so I have been with the company for about 8 years. Right now, my current position, I am the coordinator between the United States and Colombia. We transitioned about a year ago, so currently I'm in charge of the development and the progress of the current project with BBVA Compass.
Thank you, Noemi. So, being in that position, I'm aware that you have a lot of people under your charge, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So I want to ask you, because when you have so many people, obviously you do need to have leadership. What can you tell me about leadership styles that you might have, or what is your specific leadership style?
I consider my leadership style to be a motivator. I like to encourage people, bring out the best in them, and show them the potential that they have. So just helping them realize their potential.
Okay, that's awesome. And so when you have a team of people and there's several tasks, you need to delegate some tasks. How do you work that like around with your people? How do you delegate certain tasks to certain people?
I generally try to analyze everybody's potential, and I know who I can delegate certain tasks to. So I try to determine, what things I can turn to somebody and what other things I can turn to somebody else. So just realizing what they would be able to do for the campaign, to do for the business, or whatever I need them to do, that's how I delegate stuff.
Okay, that sounds good, and that's also attached to the next question that I wanted to ask you, and it's basically how you make the members of your team to work together. How do you encourage that teamwork?
One of the biggest things that I strive for, that I always want to accomplish, is that teamwork. Sometimes it's very difficult because you have different people with different personalities, but by delegating things, by addressing things a certain way, that helps bring everybody together. So making them feel comfortable as part of a group, I think that's the best thing and the best way to motivate them.
Okay, awesome. I think I do agree with you. I think that's one of the keys to make to gain positive results from a teamwork. And whenever it comes to making decisions, like a business decision or a decision regarding something that one of your team members have to do, what do you consider as one of the most important things when making decisions?
When making decisions, of course, you have to analyze the situation and make sure that you're going to be addressing it in the best manner. I have great mentors, so my bosses, I report, the people I report to, they're my mentors, so I go to them a lot for advice. So I tend to use that as the best route when trying to make a decision on something. How would this impact everybody, and foremost, how is it going to impact the business itself?
Awesome. And so previously you mentioned about motivation to encourage people. What would be your best advice to have a teamwork motivated?
Things can be challenging, and I tend to be realistic with everybody. I don't try to sugarcoat stuff. So for me, being realistic and setting the appropriate expectations, that's the best way to let people see the bigger picture. But then I also let them know and what the ultimate goal is. So giving them a perspective of what I'm looking for, where we're going and heading with the right direction. I think that sets the right expectation, and also the motivation on, okay, we might not be necessarily where we need to be at right now, but this is where we're going, and we're headed that way. So we're not stuck in one place. So letting people see the bigger picture, I think is a great motivation.
Okay, awesome. And so, this is another question. And it's that sometimes among your team members, there might be some conflicts, maybe personal, maybe something regarding the job itself. But when there's a conflict in between two different members, how do you address that? What will be your best advice whenever we have those scenarios?
Well, that does come up a lot. It's a very difficult subject, but I think addressing people individually and then letting them know again they should not take things personal. Focusing on the teamwork should help a lot. And once we do that, we can address things individually. So I tend to do that, try to address things individually, but then focusing more on the teamwork and how we can collaborate together and leave the personal stuff on the side.
All right, awesome. I think based on all of the information you're giving me in these questions, I think that is something very important to keep in mind whenever you have the role of a leader. Is there something additional that you would say as something that's very important when being on a leadership, on a role that's a leader?
For me, it was quite a bit of a smooth transition, but once I realized that I was necessarily in that leadership role, it was kind of like a reality check. But at that point, you just have to realize where you're at, your potential, your own potential, and be striving for the best. And I think that for me is what it is. I try my best to do whatever I'm being asked for, and kind of take the role and go with it.
All right, Mimi, thank you very much. That's a lot of years of experience talking right there, so I appreciate very much, again, the time you've taken and the information you're sharing with all of us. So thank you once again. Muchas gracias por el video. Vamos entonces a analizar las respuestas de Noemí y a traducirlas al español. Muchas gracias.